This guy put a bubble on me? Sorry, I can't see. I can't see. Did I get it? I got it. I got it. I couldn't see what I was shooting at.
What's good, folks? It's Nightmare Frame here with a new Warframe video, coming at you with a Revenant Felarx build, going up against level 9,999 Steel Path Disruption. I did this the other day live on stream, solo level cap. So if you want to see more of these build tests and live demonstrations, do feel free to go and follow my Twitch. That's twitch.tv/nightmareframe. But you know the E is a 3 because someone took the name. It's all good. It's all good. As long as you know it's me, it's all good. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of damage. And it does need for you to pay attention and listen, because if you don't do it right, you're not going to be doing the same amount of damage. In this particular Revenant build, I am using Zata's Whisper. If you have watched my Revenant Prime builds, well, I am using Zata's Whisper, but it's for a melee loadout. But this is using a primary weapon. Now you may ask, why Zata instead of Eclipse or Roar? Well, Zata is quite unique and works really well for this particular build. If you're not familiar with Zata, it is Zaku's first ability, and it's his Helminth ability. So think of Zata like if Mag's Magnetize and Saren's Toxic Lash had a baby. Now you have Zata's Whisper. It's a bullet attractor and a damage multiplier that applies an additional instance of damage. Pretty much a 2-for-1 deal with each pellet or strike. It scales from your weapon's mods, power strength, the weapon's damage itself, and external multipliers. And even better yet, it double dips with faction damage mods. Now when I say a bullet attractor, meaning wherever you proc the bubble on, it will converge all those bullets towards that one point. So if you shoot the body, all the pellets will redirect to the body. So our main focus here is to proc the Zata bubble on the head, because headshots already have a damage multiplier, and there are several ways to increase your headshot damage multiplier. And with the recent changes to single target weapons having a 3 times increase damage multiplier, well, you see where this is going. Proc on the head. Let's do that again. Proc Zata on the head, and then wherever you shoot into the bubble is a headshot. That whole bubble will become a headshot. Proc it on the head, and it's a headshot. And some of you may be asking, why Felarx in particular? Well, because I never used it, and I wanted to do something with the Felarx, and here we are. And because Revenant Prime just released, and this gun looks really good with Revenant. Look at that, it looks slick AF. Anyway, I did try out the incarnate version of this weapon, but it's bad. And I have heard about the 3rd evolution being bugged, this particular one, and it's still not yet fixed, and hopefully when it gets fixed, it's gonna be even better. So let's go ahead and take a look at our evolutions. The second one, I decided to go for projectile flight speed. This is very good on projectile pellet-based weapons, especially shotguns. You want the bullets to travel as fast as possible and hit the target as quickly as possible. And of course, it's a multi-pellet weapon, and Zata's a bullet attractor, and it's also a projectile weapon. So you see where this is going. Convergence of pure destruction. 4th evolution, I decided to go, of course, for the negative crit chance, because this will correlate very well with the last and final evolution. So I do get an increase in status chance, but also a reduction in the critical department. This all has to do with this particular evolution. Devastating attrition. This has a 50% chance to deal 2,000% damage on non-crits. This 2,000% damage is a final damage multiplier. And remember what I said about Zata working really well with external multipliers and also scaling with weapons damage and all that? Well, yeah, here you go. This and Zata pair so well together. Alright, let's quickly take a look at the Revenant build. In the aura, I do have Holster Amp paired up with Vigor Swap. Both of these give me base damage when I swap between my weapons. This is all base damage, and it's additive to Arcane Rage and your gun arcanes. But the great thing here is that we're always going to be working with headshots, and this is going to be triggering quite a lot and giving us that juicy base damage. In the Excellence, I do have Speed Drift, and of course, it gives me Sprint Speed and Casting Speed. Sprint Speed pairs well with Reeve. Casting Speed, I do have the Archon Shards. If you don't have Archon Shards, I highly recommend to replace Vigor Swap with Natural Talent. I did do this entire run without any Archon Shards or Vigor Swap.
We just finished a solo level camp, and I'm out of nanospores. Fuck! Okay, unfortunate. Alright, Revenant Prime. There we go. We did it, boys.
But if you want to make the build better, here you go. Power strength at 298%. I do have Archon Shards to give me that additional power strength. We have Umbral Intensify, Transient Fortitude, and Blind Rage for all our power strength needs. Arcane Energize for that energy income. Very useful. Rolling Guard for that 3 seconds of invulnerability and status cleansing. You may be wondering, but hey, he has Mesmer skin. But if you're doing high level content, you do need Rolling Guard, especially when it pops and you're surrounded by randomness and you get hit by that energy drain conduit. Oh yeah. Duration at 128% thanks to primed continuity, and increasing our large energy pool with primed flow, and streamline just to give us that little bit of efficiency because we don't want too much drain on our abilities. In terms of Archon Shards, I do have 3 Tau Forged. You may be luckier and have all Tau Forged, but for those who don't, the regular ones are just fine. Using 2 of the yellow ones will give you 50% casting speed, which is basically a natural talent. I have the red ones for power strength and the blue one for energy max. Now taking a look at the Felarx build. As you can see, it has no elements. It is modded for pure raw damage and utility. Our base damage is coming from primary deadhead. This is going to give us that 360% base damage when you get those 3 headshot kills. And it gives you that headshot damage multiplier and negative weapon recoil. And now some of you may be asking, oh, but I thought deadhead didn't proc with bleeds or any DOTs. You're absolutely right. But with the Felarx and the Zata combo, you're going to be one-shotting quite a lot, even at high levels. So this buff is going to be very consistent. Unless you enthrall the enemy, that can be quite annoying because they have some damage reduction. Prime Cleanse of Grenier is of course the faction damage multiplier, multiplying all of our damage and double dipping with Zata's Whisper. And also remember what I said about other external multipliers? The headshot damage multiplier from this boosts that Zata damage to the next level. And don't forget, we have Vigorous Swap and Holster Amp along with Arcane Rage on our Warframe to increase our base damage even more. But we also have Galvanized Savvy. This increases our status chance and is a condition overload for guns. Basically, each unique status effect on a target will increase our damage output. Galvanized Hell, multi-shot, a Shotgun Barrage for that fire rate, Tactical Pump, reload speed because it's annoying reloading each shell, and Primed Ammo Stock for the increase in magazine. So now we have 13 bullets. If you don't mind this, you can replace this with Seeking Force or Seeking Fury. And some people will be saying, hey, but doesn't Felarx have that body punch through? Yes, body punch through and punch through are 2 different things. It's literally in the name. However, it's very finicky when it comes to enemy shields. I did put Sweeping Serration just for even more slash if I want this to be a random DOT build and just bleed the enemies to death. Here I have Nano Applicator for that increase in status chance. You can run whatever you want, to be honest, but Nano Applicator was really nice as well. With 1 casting ability while you're aiming, you get 90% status chance. So we get crazy amounts of procs. So just imagine a load of damage and then DOTs right after that. Sometimes I would just shoot the enemy without Zata and just watch them die. Alright, now for my primer. I am using the Kompressa, the only good thing that came with Yoreli. The cool thing about Kompressa is that it has innate viral. That means we can mod it for other elements. As of today, Kompressa is still bugged with multi-shot. Apparently, when you shoot out, the explosions don't correlate with the amount of multi-shot that you have. So we'll wait until this is actually fixed. But in the meantime, the build is still as is, functional and very, very powerful. As a primer, yes, I do have Amalgam Barrel of fusion, not only for the multi-shot, but it also gives you that dodge speed. Basically, even more utility. I have Sure Shot for the increase in status chance, Jolt, Pistol Pestilence unranked because I want that balance, and of course, Frostbite for the cold, just to slow down the Demolists. Anemic Agility for the fire rate, Carnage Stinger for the status chance, and Augur Seeker for the Augur set bonus and status duration. Reflex Draw just to make the shots a bit more concentrated because they do have that little bit of spread, and I want to guarantee that I get enough headshot procs as possible. For Acolyte killing, you do have Revenant's Enthrall and Reeve combo, which completely destroys any level of Acolytes. But another good thing is that if you enthrall Acolytes, they are susceptible to more damage. For some reason, they lose all the damage reduction that they have. There is a chance where you don't have energy and you're on cooldown for the energy pad. You need an Acolyte killing weapon, and that's where I have the Oma. It is modded for corrosive, and this is the build for heavy attacking. Just heavy attack them. We have Pressure Point, Killing Blow for that wind-up speed, Amalgam Organ Shatter, even more attack speed, Glider Might for even more crit damage, Sacrificial Steel for that crit chance because we do get more crits when we heavy attack. Only one elemental mod because, well, Oma is innate electric, so it gives us some flexibility in modding, and Corrupt Charge for that initial combo because heavy attacks do scale on how much combo you have. The pet can be whatever you want, use whatever you want. I've used the Panzervapophyla, you know the build. Focus School, I have Vazarin. There are those I did encounter several energy drain conduits, so Vazarin saved me. And well, enemy toxin weapon can be a bitch. Vazarin also will save you. What's so good about Vazarin? It's because of Protective Sling. Void dash into yourself and you're invulnerable for 5 seconds, and you heal over time. And it's also very good when you have a health drain conduit. And for those wondering, how do you lock down enemies? What is that tether that you do? Well, that is from Magus Lockdown. It is an operator arcane. You throw a little mine that tethers enemies. Alright boys, this is the Revenant and Felarx level cap using Zanta's Whisper for that crazy headshot damage and of course the one taps. So if you've enjoyed this video and you found it informative and helpful and you want to take it out for a spin, and the Archon Shards are not needed. I did this last minute because I can. Doesn't really matter. You don't need them. And we're going to be getting more of them in the future, so don't worry about it. Hope you've enjoyed and learned something from this video. And if you did, feel free to leave a like, share, and subscribe for more Warframe content, streams, and so much more, especially Naru Slander. Please refer to the description. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.